That was smoky.
Howdy all you cowboys, cowgirls, gunfighters, and gamblers. The reason I chose to open with that clip, talking about how smoky that stage was, and you'll get an opportunity to see what I'm talking about in just a moment. But I opened with that clip because I remember hearing a quote from Jerry Dunn. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. And the first time I heard that quote, it was in the form of motivation from a fitness coach. She was pushing us all to go beyond what we thought were our limits at the time. And that quote is widely used in that motivation and self-help circle. But what struck me about the quote was that's kind of how I approach the sport of cowboy action shooting. Not that I was consciously thinking about that quote when I started shooting competitively. I was pretty deep into the sport when I first heard it. But when I did hear it, I thought to myself, yeah, that kind of sums up what I do, because I could shoot faster and more accurately if I used smokeless powder or held on to a single revolver with both hands. And I do see the appeal of that type of shooting, and there's certainly room to push one's physical limits using that style. But what challenged me is learning to use what in the beginning was considered a weak hand for my revolver and shooting through all of the smoke, which y'all have seen and commented on many times on this show. And that's not to say that I chose this style just to challenge myself. In fact, I would say, in all honesty, that the style chose me. But that's a long story and probably better suited for another time. If y'all want to hear about it, of course, let me know down in the comments section, and maybe I'll figure out a way to work it into a video. On this episode, I want to focus on that quote and how often I remember it when I occasionally think that it would be so much less challenging if I shot that newfangled smokeless powder. Or maybe I think how much more stable and accurate I could be if I held on to the revolver with both hands. And granted, those thoughts don't come up often, honestly, because I'm also pretty motivated by the showmanship of black powder and of gunfighting too. But occasionally, those thoughts do creep in. And this stage that we'll see today might have been one of those times. So let's start by getting the instructions for this stage. You all like that, right? Getting the instructions before I show the shooting. I think I can put a poll up here on YouTube and you can vote if you're using the app and let me know. Should I keep giving the instructions on a stage when available to me, or should I just show folks shooting the stages? Let me know. For now though, today we're going to get the instructions for day 2, stage 7 of the biggest little match in Dayton, Washington.
10 rifle, 10 pistol, 6 plus shotgun. Start at B, loaded shotgun in hand. Guns in any order after the shotgun. At the beep, engage 6 shotgun targets. At A with the rifle, engage the 4 right targets in a sweep that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Repeat instructions with pistols on the left 4 targets.
You got all that? Good. Now, I intentionally ended the last episode with Agent Jenny so that I could open this episode with her significant other, Boardwalk. And this thought came to me before I changed all of the theme of this episode to my thoughts on challenging your limits. But I think it still applies to Boardwalk as a new gunfighter. He's certainly facing challenges by changing from his previous style of 1 revolver in 2 hands. So I still want to include his run on this episode as it was originally intended. Don't forget though, that on this episode, like most others on the channel, you can use the timestamps in the description box to move directly to any segment of the video that you want to watch or rewatch.
All right, shooter ready.
I'll bring them to you.
3, 4, 3, 7.
Now we'll have a look at my struggles on this stage.
The hills are alive with the sound of gunfire.
Remember.
Where are those targets, mister?
You like that tall one in the rifle?
Yeah. Man,
Wow, way to go. Nicely done.
that was smoky out there.
That was crazy.
Holy mackerels.
Clear. Well, fortunately, the rest of them don't have the sun quite at that angle.
Right, yeah, that was,
You may still have some shade, but not that angle.
man.
Wow. Talk about a challenge.
Yeah, that was,
Clear.
because I was definitely taking shots that I could not see.
good.
But I was kind of making out a little silhouette, and I was like, please be the target.
That's awesome. You were good at that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Be on your knees shortly
Clear.
and then on your belly.
Yeah.
Hit those things.
Well, that's why black powder shooters squat. You got to be able to get all the way down to that primal squat.
I don't know if we did that or not, so let's.
We better
There
double
go.
check it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good deal. You're done.
Woo.
Woo!
That was
Okay,
smoky.
take nobody.
All right, that's it for this week. All that's left is the typical YouTube reminders. Smash that like button for me. It's basically like giving this channel a positive review. I appreciate it, and it helps promote the video to other folks. Of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that now. I'm Jed. This is Jedi TV, and I'll see you in some other place, in some other time.
Woo.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Could barely see.
I couldn't see anything. I mean, when you watch the video back, you'll see that
Yeah.
I was just barely straining to find a silhouette and pull the trigger, and I hear clang, and
Yeah, you got them all.
yeah.
For now though, today, we're gonna get the instructions for day 2, stage 7 of the the biggest little match in Dayton, Washington. Try that one more time. You know, there's just some days I just can't talk.